You stand up here or anywhere you want.
Is there a clicker?
Oh, I'll be your clicker.
I don't have much on the slideshow today, but I am very much used to doing 7-minute presentations for B&I, not 15 to 30-minute presentations for smaller groups. So I just took a few slides and put something together and figured I could talk and do some Q&A during that time. So I am the owner of a restoration company in town. What that means is we clean up after water, fire, mold, and trauma. The hardest one to touch on is that trauma aspect because it's very touchy, close to the heart there, but also hard to market and talk because it is such a sensitive subject. Just a little backstory. I'm very young. This is all I've ever done. This is restoration's all I've ever known. I met Jeff when I was 16 and he worked at Serpro, which is the big green dance around here. And I was like, maybe what? I didn't know people needed to do that. You know, I'm young and naive and didn't know anything about restoration. So getting into the industry was very interesting to learn the ropes and see the messes and the disasters that people have to do. So learning about that, we then we had our first son and transitions happened between work. And it was shortly after that we decided to go out on our own. There's a lot that sets us apart from the national franchises because we are locally owned, family owned. We are not a franchise. So therefore, being as you all are familiar with insurance companies, you rep your automobile where you have something happen to your home. They always have a list of preferred service providers that they want to push on you or have you call. And in a sense, I'll just be honest with you guys, those are the people that sign a contract with your insurance company to save them money. I don't believe in doing that. I believe in doing more right or not at all. So if you want the preferred service providers, that's great. But the quality of work and the heart behind it is certainly fun. They're there to save the insurance company money and here to do the job right. So I believe that is something that significantly sets us apart there for being a franchise versus a local. We started and we were full service. A to Z, that was something else I wanted to set us apart. We didn't want to just do the cleanup, we wanted to be a company that could come in and do it all. So we're going to put it back together. Soon, 4 years later, not soon enough, but soon after that, we realized that we can't do it all. I don't have the crews, I get a drywall crew and a painting crew, and I get all these people lined up, and then the drywaller will call. Then I push off the painter, and then the trim guy couldn't come. And so it was just always such a hassle that I realized we should do what we specialize in, which is restoration. So our tagline is we clean up after anything from animals to zombies, whether that's blood, animals. You know, we deal with a lot of nasty things. And so if you think of the show Dirty Jobs, we want to play in the messes, we want to that's what we want to get into. So this is our 10-year anniversary picture. We had a photo taken for the newspaper. My two boys are not that little anymore. The oldest one, and then that was just a couple years ago, but so the oldest is Ryan, my youngest is Nolan, and they are my why. I certainly wouldn't be where I'm at without knowing that those boys are in gold. If I can run this business and make it successful, the youngest one already dreams of top spot. This is his kindergarten graduation. He says when he grows up he wants to be. So if he's going to take over the show one day, that'll be great. The oldest one will run the computers in the background. He's going to be a YouTuber or something. So I've got two completely different kids, but I couldn't do that. Started the business is about a year after that. I lost my dad. He was really the foundation of my passion for this. He was so proud. And that was just something that I was like, I gotta, if there's anything I can do, it'd just be to make the product keep this business going and know that these women are right and in a community that I'm proud to be a part of. I grew up in Max Creek, so just shortly down the road there's not a lot there. And to be a part of a small community that they abolished. I mean, they don't even have, it's not even a town anymore, we're being real. But to be a part of a small community like that is possible, so it's my home. It's where I've lived for 16 years now, and I'm definitely proud to be here. So we can go on, almost 12 years, April 1st, not an April Fool's joke. We'll be in business 12 years. Jeff and I were both local natives. He graduated from Washington. I've been a member of BNI for almost 9 years. I have another gentleman from the company that was there before. And that has been the only consistent farm market I've ever done. We get people call every day, sponsor the golf course guy or do this, that, or the other. But BNI has really been a core part of my business, and I don't think that I don't see myself swaying away from that anytime soon. But it has also opened doors for me to be more involved. One of the biggest things that I take pride in now is the time that I devote for the CDD, which is our local citizens organization. And I put so much time into starting and getting my business off the ground that I couldn't have ever imagined. You know, and the kids and everything they want to do too, couldn't have ever imagined making time for anything until I realized that I do. I am fine. I'm established. I know what I'm doing every day, and I do have free time. So BNI actually is how I got involved with Steve. She's a member of our chapter, and just to hear how many volunteers would they need to make that organization go is pretty intense. So they obviously they have employees and they have, you know, a board and they have people that run the organization, but without all the volunteers that are active. So several ways that you can volunteer for them, and it was really hard actually. It's not something you can just walk into and say, hey, I want to help, how can I help you? They put you through a very intense training, and it was a 40-hour training that I had to go through. It's super hard. Pass that test, and I was like, I didn't realize that there was this was such an involved, like you have to be so involved in this and get all the training and stuff before you can just walk in and learn. So that really opened my eyes to a lot of what they do, and also how I wouldn't have seen some of the cycles of abuse without that training. I would know all the verbal and just the way people come up with their attitudes towards people. That's all it's really. And so what called me there was I am their hospital advocate. So lots of things that I couldn't do for them. I could be their court advocate. I could go and coach groups. They have groups every week where they teach basic cooking lessons. Believe it or not, some of the people in the shelter, they don't know those things. They've never been allowed to. These things are very basic life skills that some of us think are easier for me to know, but a lot of people don't know those things. So when I was making the decision on how I wanted to be involved there, my calling was the hospital advocate. So when there's a big road at the hospital, and that's where I go. I'm the first person there with the CDD to help them to do the assessment and figure out what services they need. Do they need to come to shelter? How can we help them? And there is just a lot of people that need outreach services, so they don't need to come to shelter. They don't need the services firsthand, but to have an outreach coordinator that works with them to help with therapy sessions or whatever. So I really thought that I could have, my heart is there for that, because I do my part of ANC is I am the one that does all my trauma. That has stomach for that, not part of that. And that also comes with a lot of training and how to talk with people out crime scene or something like that. So when I having all of that training and knowing the crime scene trauma aspect about it, and I very I thought, well, being firsthand in some of those instances is something that and we have a lot of challenging ones, believe it or not. It's different calls every time, but that is something that I'm most prideful about. It is a volunteer position, but it's something that I'm very, very much going to be part of. Hope to be more for them one day, but with being a small business owner and along with 2 young kids, and it's a struggle, but I'll do what I can for them and work my way. We are members of all the local chambers, I'll be at the expo show, Lakewood Expo show this month. So if any of you are gonna be coming to that, make sure you stop on and do the same thing. The Missouri's Best is something we've done one time for, since it started. There was 1 year that we didn't, but Missouri's Best is something they have recently came out with in the last 2 years. We've got a lot of categories there, but Best of the Lake, we all know, is the Lake's popularity contest. And I was very proud to have won that 2021 because our competition is not that national. And they've got a lot more employees to go on there every day and vote for them. And so, but very pridefully won that 2021 and last year. So this year we are excited to put in a nomination. Now we're going to run the final round of voting. So if you're ever voting for Best of the Lake, appreciate a vote on that too. So the state of Missouri is weird, and you don't really have to be certified to do anything. You can go up there and be a plumber today or an electrician or whatever you want to do without having to have a license or certification or anything, because the state of Missouri is just weird. And that's the same for restoration. So it's something that I take pride in knowing that all of my technicians are certified with the IRCRC, which is the organization that sets forth standards for us. That's the company that the insurance companies look back on and use and reference from. So it is very important to know that who's kind of in your house is home. I'm here with mom without getting a lot of sex conversations, but there is a science behind what we do. Someone's walking in and says, expecting your house to drop. There's a lot that goes behind it, and knowing that you have qualified people in your home is a huge thing. Something I also can't stress enough is asking people to do. It's so easy to do, and don't ever let anyone in your house to work without ever, whether they're just coming in to paint your walls or whether they're pressure washing the outside of your house. You need a insurance. Something's going to or they're also pressure washing. Something's going to happen. So having that sort of getting insurance is something I advocate for. Because everybody should have it. We had a gentleman yesterday come to visit us who started a new, and I thought, well, that's a really good thing. But also, if I have next to her dog, I don't know, he's having a hard time finding special insurance for that. That's important. But it is something that everybody should have for everything. So even a lot of people in the area that say, oh, I'm just one person, I don't need for it. Yes, they do. You have to have it. Whether the law says yes, if you're a single, really owner, you don't have any employees, you don't need it, right? Well, that goes back to the statement right here. You really should have it. Everybody working in your home, on your home, your property, they should have that one. And what I've seen a lot is even with the problem with coverage, they're lowering that medical allowance on those policies for a lot of reasons. People go after insurance companies and try to get rich all the time. But that work comp insurance is what's really going to save you in your longer life if somebody falls off the ladder or falls out the roof, all the Christmas lights on, any of those sort of things. So making sure that people are properly insured and getting covered, that's a huge thing. We are 24 hours all this 2021, 2022, both of those years I have little elves working on Christmas Day. And that really is a problem. But when you're home sweater, I can go away until tomorrow or the next day. We said Thanksgiving with people before. My dad would get started with Thanksgiving with the house, so it really is, something that you have to be selfless and know that when the call comes, you're ready to run. Action has to happen. So those are just some logos for the Best of the Lake, Missouri's Best. Some unique pictures. Water can come from anywhere. Whether it's clean water, dirty water, sewer water, groundwater, there's lots of different kinds of water that impact it. One thing we see a lot here is about 90% of homes have crawl space. And if you have crawl space, you likely have. And you likely have some funky odors. We have huge, second homeowner rate here, like, we get people go walk in and spraying to open up the home for year and smell, just smells like blood, it smells like house. Blah, blah, those are the common topics. I love to know this. And why do you think it must be a small, shouldn't be, live without, shouldn't be. Mold obviously we live with mold every day in our environment, but there is one type of mold that doesn't grow outdoors that is toxic for your health, and that's the black mold that your skin. So, which you can see in that picture from right there where that washing machine is hooked up. That leaked for a long time. The picture in the middle, just for a quick story, they had a pot sitting right behind those flowers in that flower garden, and the pot didn't have the flowers or anything, it just had potting soil in it. But that's a summer day and the sun beating on that potting soil. It's easily busted and it caught on fire. It's long house and caught their house on fire. Now, you think that little bit of fire damage on the front of that house was really nothing, but it went in through the window and the whole was full of smoke. And that was a full fire restoration. It's cool. Even though they didn't have the fire damage inside, it was something that's that simple and small, caused a substantial amount of damage. But it was shining off of the windshield directly into the pot. It's just science worked that day, and that's how it happened. We have a rug washing pit at our facility, which is something that's really, really neat. You can actually submerge the rugs and actually flush them out. We can do specialty rugs, we can do seasoned version, wool. It doesn't matter if it's a cheap rose rug, those are the best and easiest ones to clean. But we do offer specialty fabric cleaning and stuff like that. We have a white couch that was halfway out by water. The water goes that high. And Jeff is magic, not to think about and it back the white couch. I don't know how he does some of the magic things, but and then the other thing, so that is something that keeps us going. Carpet cleaning, rug washing, that sort of stuff just keeps us going. Water damage, that all the time. It's not every day, parents with you guys. So we do love to have a nice clean water damage every day. But we categorize water differently for a reason. So if you want a sinking blood one, plug it out and walk out with water, that's category 1, that's the main one. Right? That's what everybody would ideally like to have. Category 2 would be something that comes from above, that is very well, more expensive or within 4 hours. And then category 3 water is the same category as sewage. And that can be anything that's longer than 48 hours or an hour. And the reason for that is because it travels through and carries all the pesticides and everything. So it's very, very dirty. And you want to make sure that you're cleaning that right, sanitizing it right. If you just go and set a bunch of pans and start blowing air everywhere, what's that do? You're breathing all the sewage. So it's very important that you do it properly. Dryer vent cleaning is huge. Insurance companies recently started requiring them for years, especially on condos, which I love because they are the #1 cause of fires. Last year, 15,970 dryer vent home fires, causing over 8 people. So simple and so cheap. Lots of people do it themselves because their dryer vent just goes right outside. They've got a little 4-foot plug stuff they can get in there with a broom or something to clean out. Otherwise, it's not that easy, but we do go around and maintenance some of these larger complexes around here every 3 years and saving them money on their insurance premiums. They were actually getting cancellation notices that they didn't provide proof of it. So it is a huge thing if you're part of an HOA or a condominium complex or something like that to suggest it. We offer both pricing and bundle pricing for those complexes. And so often it's kind of great on that. And I don't think people too that call that just saying, hey, my neighbor wants it done, and the guy across the street wants it done, can help us out. Those work out great too, I think it's going from the next to the next, but, no more than like 5 in a day, and it's always best to get the people at home, or they crowd or whatever, so. But yes, offer full pricing for those dryer machines. We did just recently acquire a second. I have a billboard in Lake Creek coming back from Osage Beach on the right hand side of Foster Bay. But we are the only company in the Lake Foster Bay. There's lots of people that come around and think that our units are figured out. This is something that substantially sets us apart from the rest of the area. We don't have any portable equipment in our tractor in house. The only thing we're bringing in is the vacuum hose and the compressor hose that we go in each of the ovens with. So not have to drive the portable machines through your house and not wondering what's escaping out of that. Everything that is going straight out into the collection chamber of the truck, so it's very effective. Also, we have like 60,000 CFM of vacuum suction on our truck compared to like 5 or 10,000. So that is something if you're thinking about it, the same way with carpet. You would want somebody with a carpet truck mounted unit to come in and clean the carpets versus a portable. The difference is substantial. Cleaning is going to be much different. And it just saves a lot of secondary mess. You don't have to worry about something rolling the wheels over your next hardwood floor or long the floor out everything or anything like that. So but for the most part, I mean that pretty much wraps up our services and what we offer. We want anything that's dirty, any messes that can be cleaned up, and then we want to keep your air quality where it's going to bring that. Carpets and air ducts are the biggest filters in your home. Air window, or carpet pad, those things are obviously the biggest filters. So making sure that you aren't just changing the filter every year or every month, but that you're wondering what's filtering those stuff. So you get a lot of interesting things where, especially with warnings, those are the best ones. If they ever have kids, it's even more interesting. Our vacuum hose is 12 inches that we attach there. So anything like we could make a ruler or stuff in there, pencil, anything that's going to come out, it's not stuck or bogged up that in. We also have camera that we do inspection on everyone we do, just so that we can ensure that there's no breaks, rips, tears, anything like that, especially on those flex documents. And so that is something that we offer, and that is free of charge for all of those services. And that way we can show you kind of before and after of what it's there. You get a lot of ask me and see what comes out and see what you get out. And the answer is no, you don't. The collection chambers in the truck, and it is a huge box. And we can run for a month before that's in that collection chamber because it's massive. But to get in there and clean it out is pretty invasive. And they get in there with shovels and literally start shoveling this stuff out. But we do get people that are really curious. So the camera inspection helps for that. We can shove those cameras down there, show you what's in your vents. You've got the crayons, Q-tips, whatever may have fallen in those vents, you're going to see it and you'll see afterwards too. But kind of impressive and amazing to see some of the things that are out of these vents. So our dog toys, anything you can think of. Food, lots of food, cereal, anything that gets swept around in those vents. Yeah.
Are you hopefully busy after spring break?
It picks up a lot more. Honestly, before spring break, whenever we set up the homes, people are calling more.
Yeah.
Winter time, I was really hoping this winter would be different for us, but I don't think it got cold long enough. But like February 2021, that was actually very solid. Common complexes around the area, all of the marks. It was massive, But I think we stay and anybody the other day, yesterday, the day before, did anybody want to turn a heat in their air? Okay. So yeah, those are things that we want to talk to you about that. It's smell, like, everybody's like, oh, it's just because I heard the heat on for the first time this year. You should never have a smell sanitary system on or off or anything like that, that's what it is for dust, or something you're burning that shouldn't. So, but, yeah. All right, so guys,